Hey guys, I'm Sai and welcome to A.C.E Podcast Nation, the home of Keepin It Real, our wrestling series. We talk the latest wrestling news and stories from the week, talk about the TV, the latest pay-per-views, the news and rumours and more with a member of the wrestling media. So you can check out all our shows, wrestling and otherwise, at youtube.com/Ace Podcast Nation, or the audio versions at all your usual radio and podcast apps. I've recorded a show with Inside the Ropes founder and host Kenny McIntosh earlier this week, which will be out next week, I believe, next Sunday. Really looking forward to you guys seeing that, because that was a lot of fun talking to Kenny, and obviously he's got an amazing story and had some amazing experiences, and it's very interesting to hear some of his stories surrounding Scott Steiner at one of the Inside the Rope shows, Sonny, you can imagine. Jim Cornette, I think, was on one of the early shows as well, but the Sonny and the Scott Steiner stories specifically were very good. But yeah, Kenny's a cool dude, and I appreciate him giving me his time. Another person who I appreciate giving me their time is none other than Post Wrestling's writer and interviewer, YouTube video interviewer extraordinaire, Mr. Andrew Thompson. How goes it, my friend?
Sorry, the science guy. What's going on, my good man? How you feeling?
I'm alright, bro. I'm just feeling a bit low today now, and a bit frustrated. But I know that in 45 minutes' time, I'll be smiling and happy, as is always the way, my friend, when we do these shows. If one of us is not feeling too great, by the end, it's all good. Well, quite the week of wrestling.
Boring week. Nothing happened.
Boring week, my friend. I guess Friday's the start with Smackdown. But before we get to that, I would like you to tell me, as the king of the news roundups, tell us about your news roundup this week.
Damn, what did I write this week? What did I write on Tuesday? I can't remember. I know. Yesterday, I know some people knew this, but I didn't know at all that Crazy Steve was blind.
Is he?
Did you know that? Did you? But did you see what I'm saying? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
No, like
blind in like one eye or something.
No, don't. Like he's blind. Like he can't see. Like he really can't see. Like it was a dude that quote tweeted me yesterday. He was like, well, you know, why are you saying reveal? Because everybody knew this. But Crazy Steve said during the interview, he's like, the reason it's going to be new, he literally said it's going to be new to some people, because only a few people who didn't train in Canada, who probably know outside of the Canadian wrestling scene knew. But he said he never told anybody. He said he kept it a secret because he didn't want no negative or positive feedback from him. He just didn't want like no sympathy, or he didn't want nobody like that affecting his bookings. But he's blind, bro. Like, I mean, like not half blind. Like he can't see. Like he said in the interview, he can't even see the ropes when he wrestles.
Bro, that's quite scary considering the style he works as well.
Bro, he's never injured anybody. That's the crazy thing.
Well, he's never anybody. He isn't really injured. He had that one injury, I think. He had one injury which comes to mind, I think. But like nothing, like one injury being a wrestler in that amount of time. He's an experienced guy.
Bro, like he's never hurt anybody, bro. And
crazy.
like just the fact that he's blind, like he can't even see the ropes. Like he says that he, like, when he goes, like he said when he wrestles for Impact, like it's like one of the worst, and not wrestling wise, but like because the aesthetic, and he's like the red ropes make it really hard for him to see. So like basically he just goes out to the ring before the show starts and like kind of gets a feel, and then like he like just mentally remembers where he is in the ring, but he's like he cannot see anything. Like he was like one time somebody wanted to do like this combination kick, and he was like, well, I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm not going to see any of your kicks to be able to sell it, so we should do something else.
Jesus, this is incredible, man.
I said the same thing, bro. I was like, dog, this man is blind. And he said he's been blind since he was a kid. Like he was born blind.
Jesus, man. Do you know that says so much though about his just his natural talent and ability that he's able to work at that level that he's worked at over the years. And Jesus, I'm shocked. I'm
But
shocked.
I said the same thing, dog. I was like, bro, this man, like, why, like, how is this not like one of the biggest stories? This man is blind, bro. But yeah, and another thing, what else did I write? AJ Styles talked about Daniel Bryan being on the SmackDown writing team.
Yeah.
He was like, he don't think that's going. Well, he didn't say he think it was going to work. He was just like, he don't think it's a good idea when a talent, an active talent, is on the writing team because it's way easier for them to convey to the powers that be what type of storyline they see for themselves, and it's easier for them to get that through kind of way. And yeah, and another thing, yeah, Gail Kim, she working in talent relations now on Impact, so that's cool.
Oh, cool. That's yeah.
And her and yeah, her and Robert Irvine tested positive for COVID, which is, but they good now. But yeah,
It's going around, mate. Going around. Did you see Andrew Yang? I think did an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
yeah, man, I saw that.
So for people who don't know who Andrew Yang is, could you elaborate a bit?
You're a former presidential candidate, and in the U.S. of course, and he's like affiliated with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden who's currently in the presidential race, and
Okay.
you know, yeah, and Andrew Yang is a part of that
Isn't he quite
cabinet. I mean,
outspoken on concussions and things like this as well?
I want to say out like he's very active on Twitter, like with political and social and issues as such. Like he's not like he's a very social media vocal type of politician, if that makes sense. Like he's very active on social media
Yeah.
and responds to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things he mentioned was WWE comparing itself to Disney, and like he said, well, Disney doesn't own like Emma Watson from Beauty and the Beast or whoever, like the Avengers actors, and they
Hmm.
can go and work because they're independent contractors, so if they want to do a Twitch stream, they can do a Twitch stream, etc., etc. Obviously, this was in uh, reply to the Vince McMahon sending letters out to WWE staff and wrestlers telling them to end any what is it?
Third party.
Yeah, like third party apps, Cameo, etc. And I think it sucks for them because, like, so for instance, Roman Reigns I think was charging $500 for a Cameo, which
He
could
was
be
making
anything
grip.
from 10 seconds to
he
two
was
minutes.
he was making grip on Cameo.
But mate,
I respect
like
it.
you could bang out like 30-second videos. Like if you just spent a day doing it, you could make like a nice wad of cash to supplement your income.
I done did
Whereas
it.
if say WWE does something similar, or sets up a deal with Cameo or as a company,
Did that?
like
Yeah.
say they charge 500 quid or $500, Roman Reigns will probably see what $50 of that if he's lucky. By the time Cameo takes a cut and the WWE takes a cut, so
That's exactly what I think is going. I think WWE probably going. They gonna either partner with Cameo or they gonna create something just like Cameo, so the
yeah,
wrestlers
they'll
can
create their
do
own,
it, and then WWE get a nice little chunk,
and the
nice little
wrestlers
chunk
lose
out of
out.
that. Yeah, and the
Um,
wrestlers lose out. Yeah,
and then same sort of thing with Twitch. Like I saw Paige said something on social media, but like I read that Paige is making nice money on Twitch. Her Twitch
yeah.
streams, like
She got a lot of
she's
subs.
really popular on Twitch, and they're not using her as a TV character. They're not using her in any way. They've just got her signed basically, so she can't go somewhere else.
Yeah, but just chime like the thing with that is like she pays using her real name now, so she good. And it's the same thing,
Yeah,
but like AJ Styles clarified his like, of course he used Styles Clash on Trish, and he owns the AJ Styles name. WWE doesn't own that. But the thing is, while he's under contract with WWE, they own that name. But when his contract expires, it goes right back to him,
yeah, and it
which
gets a
is
bit
weird.
murky,
Yes,
doesn't it? Because
yeah,
like Jessamine Duke is her real name, and she does a lot of streaming. But she obviously is
Yeah,
using that name on
while,
WWE TV.
while she's under contract, they own that name,
It's
which
all a
is
bit
weird.
murky.
That's weird,
It's
bro.
frustrating. It
Like
must be
like
frustrating for them as
like
independent contractors because they're not, are
like
they? They're
like
employees. Let's face it.
like even when I think one of the smart things that Seth Rollins did was not use his WWE name to use his wrestling school. He got the Black and Brave wrestling school, right?
Yeah,
And Black is short for Tyler Black, which
yeah,
was Seth Rollins's, his former name. And I think the smartest thing he did when he opened that was not use Rollins and Brave, opposed to
yes.
just using his old independent. So like, could you just imagine how awkward that would be? I'm not saying he would leave WWE, but just think about that. Like if he called it Rollins, I mean, that he was to
Yeah,
leave
you have to
WWE,
change
or
everything on you.
yeah, he had to change. Yeah, I guess that was a smart play by him. But
Yeah, 100%.
like them trying to stop them from making money is like so weird.
It's a bad look, isn't it?
But WWE is worth so much money, bro. Like they don't need to stop their wrestlers from making money. Like I saw Indy Hartwell from NXT. She said that it was her last day doing cameo appearances, which I'm pretty sure was a nice little bump for her. But
Yeah, and what frustrates me with it is like it's almost like they're employees without the benefits of being employees.
right,
So I'm not entirely sure how it works in America, but so like for instance, if you're an employee in the UK, you might get things like medical,
yeah, that's
you
saying,
get
yeah,
pensions, and you get all
maternity
sorts of
leave and all
benefits,
that, yeah,
and
all
like
that stuff.
they don't get that stuff, but they almost everything like in terms of the rules of what they can and can't do, seems to be that they're employees, so they kind of lose out. And I mean, I can't imagine that the locker room morale in the WWE over the last 6 months has been great. The ratings are getting, they're not great. They're certainly down year upon year. Obviously, you've got the COVID stuff. Then you've got like people being released who are popular, and maybe during the lockdown, you've got people like AOP being released. Breaking news during our show last week, and then to do this, it just feels like it. I've said it many times that Vince McMahon is out of touch, but it seems like he's
So,
not just out of touch with TV and what the audience wants, but it almost seems like he's out of touch with the locker room feeling. And I'm not in
what
there. I'm just guessing, but
one thing that I like that's very consistent about WWE is that they tried their hardest to not let the talent become bigger than the brand.
stupid.
Like I think that's one thing that's very consistent about, like they will not allow the talent to transcend their company. Like
Do you
as
know
long as you're in WWE, you're gonna be just
WWE's
like,
property?
yeah, a WWE superstar. Like I don't think they will allow somebody to become like I think they will let you become like massive to the point where you can attribute all your outside success to them. But I
Yeah,
don't think they want somebody that can like just have like just
it's
a
like
variety of options.
Becky Lynch is the ceiling. They don't want you to become John Cena or The Rock. Whether it's because they think that you're going to leave for Hollywood and go on to bigger and better things, they don't want you to quite transcend out of that bubble. Like they don't mind you being the top WWE star around the world, recognized by everyone. Bringing in that WWE money, but they don't want you to be starring in the very top Hollywood films. They want you in WWE studio films.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird, man. That the WWE just like doesn't want their stars to get to a certain level because maybe it's fear of them leaving. I don't know. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the reasoning is, but it is just weird, man. And I think Vince McMahon is so out of touch, and that's a problem for me. That's going to create problems for them in the future. Um, like those guys who are not on Roman Reigns money at the very top of the card, they that money from Cameo or Twitch or whatever they use, that makes a difference to them. Particularly if they're not on TV and they're not selling a lot of merch and whatever it may be, that does make that extra money makes a difference to how their day-to-day life and their monthly bills and stuff. So I think WWE needs to be careful because there's other places to go now.
Yeah.
Um, Smackdown Friday, I thought, was one of the best Smackdowns in a very long time. I really thought it was good. Um, so you had very quickly Bayley turned on Sasha. You had Bray Wyatt saying that he could bring in a friend, which is tonight. I'm looking forward to that. We'll discuss that in a minute. You had a tag team title match. What else do you had? You had the title match, the number one contender match at the main event, with Big E getting taken out of it. I was happy to see that because as we discussed on the show, we didn't want Big E to win to face
Yep.
Roman Reigns. Um, how did you feel about Riddle being the one to take the pin out of Riddle, Sheamus, Corbin, and Jey Uso? Did you feel
Nah,
like they should have given maybe Sheamus or Corbin take the pin?
nah, not really. I mean, somebody had to take the damn pin. I mean,
Like to
I,
me, I
I,
didn't mind it. Didn't mind it because it wasn't like a stupid, like a distraction or just like the usual dumb stuff they do. Like he just got beat, and I'm okay with that, I suppose. Um,
I think the outcome was way better than what I was expecting. I did not think Jey Uso was going to be the winner.
bro,
I'm interested in that. And
yeah, man, like that. Not just interests me. It's different. I no idea what they're gonna do. Are they gonna do a finger poke of doom? Is Roman gonna annihilate his cousin? Like, there's so many different ways they could go, and I can't quite work out what they're going to do. And the way Vince McMahon has been lately, I would not be surprised to see a finger poke of doom. I just wouldn't. Just bring in the ratings, brother.
and it
Controversy creates
and it,
crash.
and it's interesting because like when I remember when they did the segment, Jay had asked him about his relationship with Paul Heyman, and the way Roman said it, the way he came out, it seemed like he wasn't even sure like what the hell's going
Yeah,
on
it
between
was
him and
weird,
Heyman.
wasn't it? He said,
So that
I'm in control. But,
I like that a lot. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. It's
but,
gonna be interesting. But I'm interested in the final destination. Like, so is Roman about to take out the family tree until you know until Dwayne got to come put it in the Roman.
yeah, I think that's probably the way they're going to go. But, so first of all, then the relationship with Heyman, they did add a little wrinkle to it with the way Roman referred to it. It wasn't quite as clear cut as they're just aligned. There seemed to be something more to it. I think is the best way to put it. Like Jey Uso referenced the stuff that Paul Heyman had said about Roman's family, which he did obviously when they were feuding with Brock. Um, what do you think that wrinkle could be, though? That was what I was thinking. Like the way he implied it was that there was more to it, but then when I thought about it, I couldn't really work out what it could be.
Was that probably that Roman was the one that approached Heyman instead of Heyman approaching him?
Yeah, just felt like there was something to it, but I couldn't really work out what the direction would be. So, but I'm excited for it. I thought Roman was real good, and I liked when he said to Jey Uso something like, uh, "Why don't you go out and win for a change?" It was like really passive aggressive and like snarky, but still, even heel Roman was quite laid back Roman, and I like that. And then what I want to see is if they don't go the controversial way of finger poke of doom and turn the Usos heel, I would like to see Roman Reigns absolutely destroy Jey Uso.
For sure.
Like he has to leave him in a bloody mess,
Speaking
and
of heel runs,
Jimmy has to come out and
speak,
beg him to stop.
speaking of heel runs, I think just for strictly speaking WWE while we on the topic, I think Seth Rollins is probably having one of the best ones in WWE right now. Like his heel run has been really solid. Like I've been enjoying this whole Monday Night Messiah thing. Like I don't know
Yeah,
why.
me too. I was really disappointed to that. I really disappointed that they. I thought the stable was working really well for him, and when one of the AOP got injured, I didn't understand why they didn't keep the other one around. so he still would have had Buddy and at the time Austin Theory and one of the AOP. I just didn't really get it.
They said you mentioned Austin. Can you believe that they still got him and Velveteen Dream on TV? I cannot believe that. I thought
No, I
they
cannot.
took them off TV by now.
Yeah, especially in Velveteen Dream's case. Like I'm
Yeah,
not so familiar,
especially him.
not so familiar with Austin Theory's allegations. I gotta be honest. It seems like they've basically just punished him by taking him off Raw and putting him back to NXT, which is still on national TV, and they seem to be giving him a push as well. But there we go. However, they need someone to face Finn Balor now, and I was looking at it and I was like, who the hell are they gonna have? And then I thought, well, they could do Austin Theory if they were going to just have Finn squash him if they don't want, if they're punishing Theory. But equally, if you, before all this stuff went down, I'd have been quite up for an Austin Theory Finn Balor match, which makes it sad.
Yeah, I think Finn Balor is about to just have like a bunch of placeholder challenges until King and Cross get back.
Bronson Reed, maybe. I
It's
just
gonna be
don't see who else he can have challenge him.
Bronson Reed, probably Kushida, probably maybe on an NXT episode, not a
Yeah, I could
takeover, but
do a
like
Kushida feud. I wouldn't be disappointed if they sent like a Cesaro down or someone. Just I don't know who. Like they they're
hey,
right.
you mentioned Cesaro. Remember on Raw, it looked like they about to combine the tag titles.
Yeah, they've completely and royally screwed over the tag team division on every single brand, and it makes me sad. But yeah, I think. And do you know what's frustrating about it is it's I wish they weren't doing it. They shouldn't be doing it because at certain points they've had some great tag teams all over the place, but they've decimated them and released them and treated them like shit so much that now putting the tag team titles together is probably the right thing to do because they
Mm-hmm.
haven't got enough tag teams to have two, and that infuriates me because they had so many good tag teams not so long ago, and it really pisses me off. I gotta be honest, but this is where we are. Um,
I don't think WWE believes that tag team wrestlers can draw.
they're wrong.
I genuinely believe that. I don't think they think. Well,
No, they don't.
I
One
don't think
man
they.
doesn't at least.
Yeah. There we go.
Very quickly then, what would you do with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions?
Yeah,
How would you book that match?
Roman ain't losing. That's for damn sure. But I
Jey
mean, like,
Uso as WWE champion.
have him go out there and just have a good match. Like you can tell the story of Jey Uso knowing Roman Reigns real well, so that's why he getting a good fight out of Roman. But Roman, at the end, just beat the hell out of him, and that's to get him a clean win, and that's the end of the match. And I don't think Jimmy Uso gonna be back anytime because he had a real bad injury, and he said his timetable was 2021. So I mean, maybe that's Roman's Royal Rumble challenger or something like that, or. But I mean,
But I mean,
after Jey Uso, then I mean, it's a couple people lined up, but I think the end goal, honestly, bro, like I'm a hopeful that it's gonna be Big E in the end, but like just seeing this storyline, like I can't help but think that the end goal is gonna be Roman and The Rock at
yeah, me
Mania
too. I
37.
think it is too. That's what they want at the very least. I think a backup is probably the Fiend as well, to be the guy who takes the title off him as a
Mm.
babyface. But I think in their eyes, they want The Rock. If they can't get The Rock, then I think it'll be either Goldberg or The Fiend. And then I think, sadly, Big E's kind of fourth in line from their point of view. It's not what
Mm.
I would do. Um, I would actually move Big E in the draft, um, and I would have him go after either feud with the Hurt Business and be the one to take them on, or have him in WWE title feud with either with Drew or with the guy who takes it off Drew, if that makes sense. Um, Lastly, on SmackDown, who do you think the new friend of Bray Wyatt will be?
Mm.
I mean, I
Pro-
think there's only two choices unless they bring in someone
Probably some
completely.
weird ass puppet.
Yeah, do you think it's going to be a puppet or do you think it'll be
Yeah,
a real life
it'll be a
person?
puppet.
See,
I think it's gonna be a puppet that's gonna mimic somebody. Maybe be like a puppet Alexa Bliss or something like
so
that.
when he feuded with the Miz, he had that puppet which looks very similar to Alexa Bliss's current look because she's adding dreadlocks each week. So there's
Mm.
that. But the WWE also trademarked the wobbly walrus recently, a couple of weeks back. Um, so obviously he lost the title to Roman Reigns. Could they do a Paul Heyman puppet in the style of the Vince McMahon puppet
Mm.
and call it the wobbly walrus?
That'll be
Possibly.
funny.
They like if they don't do something with Alexa Bliss and the Fiend, then what was the point in adding dreadlocks to her each week and having her act all weird and the puppets watching her? I saw
Right.
someone say that the puppets were watching her and Nikki talk. I did see someone say that they're going to completely swerve you, and it'll be Nikki who joins the Fiend and goes back to her kind of crazy sanity type character. But I don't see that. That wouldn't make any sense because she has had no interactions with the Fiend or Bray Wyatt. Um, I'm interested in it again. No, I got to be honest. I think the Fiend has been more interesting again. I know some people didn't enjoy the Braun Strowman feud. I kind of did. I thought it made sense. I liked the way they linked up a lot of the story, and I liked that they got the title out of there by having Roman take it as a heel as well. So I'm kind of okay with that. I'm going to name three guys off SmackDown. I want you to tell me in like under 30 seconds for each one what you would do with them next and like where you'd like that.
30 seconds.
Yeah, man.
All
Quick
right.
fire stuff. So first one is Matt Riddle.
Give me a card.
Would you put him in like a title picture or
No, no, no,
title on
no,
him?
no title pictures right now. Not right now.
Uh, Sami Zayn.
Intercontinental title feud consistently. Like keep him in there. I probably have him winning. Honestly, take it off. Shinsuke. I mean, Jeff Hardy
Jeff.
and yeah, take it off. I don't know why I
Would
throw
you have the
Shinsuke the
three of
champion.
them,
Jesus,
AJ, Jeff, and Sami feud?
I think that's gonna be the title match at Clash of Champions. But I definitely put it back on Sammy. Honestly,
Yeah, I think that would be my choice. Either him or AJ. Um, third, Biggie.
hopefully he's the end goal for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But I mean, right now I think the only thing they can do is like keep him,
Just keep building him.
keep building them and like don't be so quick to have this match with Sheamus. Like kind of delay it as much as you can so you can
Yeah, for
just
sure.
get through the months. Like don't like because like after that I don't really like. I mean it's people from the feud with, but like I think they got some kind of at least solid going on with Sheamus. I'm not gonna say it's good or everybody because I don't know if everybody's enjoying it, but I mean at least it's holding it. But
Yeah.
I mean we gonna I really think that they holding off on E and hope that they'll have fans at the Rumble.
Yeah, I
And
think he'd be a
I
great choice to win the
and
Royal Rumble.
one thing that I really hope that they don't do, like, bro, Sasha Banks just had a chair squished on her damn neck. Do not bring this woman back in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Keep her
she has
off
to stay.
TV
I
until
said
like
last week, keep her off till the Rumble.
that's a little too far. You know now Sasha she bringing the people. I don't think that's a good idea. I say like
No
December.
fans, but keep it to the keep.
I'm
If
no,
there's no fans,
I'm
keep her
talking
off to
about
the
I'm talking about
Rumble.
TV ratings like brings in the people.
Nah,
Like I don't think that's a good idea. I
the
mean
pop, the pop.
I said like December. Keep off TV to like
What did you
early
think of that
December.
heel turn, Bayley
It,
and Sasha? Then
it's about time. That's all I got to say about it.
do you
Should have
think it
happened.
was executed well?
I think no. I don't think anything's like really executed superbly well in this era where there's no live reaction to it. But
Mm.
I mean, I think if it would have happened, with a crowd there, it would have been better. I mean, they did the same thing 2 years ago during the summer of 2018 when I think it was Bayley, who I think she did something to Sasha on Raw. It was like something similar. It wasn't like to the extreme of her putting a chair in between her neck, but it was like she beat her down, and then they like made up the like 2 weeks later, and they were
Mm.
friends again. But
I mean, one thing I liked about it was that it wasn't just she slammed her into the chairs, did a Bailey to belly, and then walked off. I liked that it was kind of continuous, vicious, like she tried to end her career type thing rather than just, oh, Bailey's turned. They're not friends anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like I liked that it was there was a bit of edge to it. Um, so I'm interested to see where that develops to, because obviously if they do keep Sasha off TV, which they should, for a, they need to do it for at least a month or so.
yeah, I agree.
I'd be interested what they do with Bailey in the meantime. But you could
That's
do a Mandy Rose feud, like a mini feud. You could do a Naomi. Who else is
mm,
on SmackDown?
I mean, you could do the
Alexa Bliss.
they got the little wild card rule that they're doing again, bring some NXT people. I think Mercedes Martinez is probably gonna get the call up, or Tegan Knox get the
She
call
could
up.
be in the. I think Mercedes Martinez might end up being in Retribution. I think would
Mm.
be my guess. They got a logo this week on Raw, and they did a promo with a voice changer. Do you think we're getting close to the reveal? The fact that they've got their own logo and stuff now, and they did a promo.
They need to get to it. How long has been going on, bro? For 2 months.
Yeah, and they
It's
haven't
about time.
like they haven't like I said last week. They need to start attacking the people they're going to feud with. Like they're not really developing it in any way. Like there was a bit of development with this promo. I feel like they need to start revealing who it is so people can get invested in it. Because at the moment it's just kind of nothing to be invested to. I
I
just
mean,
hope that
and then
they.
they
I
and
hope
then they
that
don't e-
Mustafa Ali is in there and they tie it into the hacker gimmick.
and then
That's what I
they
pray
don't
for.
even have to like just like reveal all of them at once. Like you
No.
can do a one by one reveal.
Yeah. I would love it. Love it. That would make like I'd be totally on board for that gimmick. The whole thing. I'll give it all the time in the world. They just have to link it to the hacker gimmick. That was the start, and Mustafa Ali being that hacker, and I will that will knock it up a level for me straight away. Whether they do or not is another story. AEW All Out. What did you think of this show?
Mm, I think it was a good show. I don't think it was bad, but I mean, obviously, I think the Matt Hardy thing kind of took a lot of people out of it.
Yeah, tell me
It's
about
good to
that.
see
What did you think of that?
poorly handled.
Yeah,
That's like pretty much you all even said about it. It was just poorly handled. I don't think you let somebody continue when they're clearly concussed, regardless of what they tell you.
who's to
So
blame, or who's at fault?
AEW, they're at fault. They should be at fault. I
Yeah,
mean, Matt Hardy's in wrestling for like how many years? Like 20 something years. Of course, he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I can finish the match." If that is what he said, which I'm assuming that's what he said, that he could finish. But I don't think they should have allowed him to finish that at all. Especially the fact that he had to climb up a scaffold to
yeah.
finish that match like that.
That's what was so scary about it.
Like you saw, like
That they let him
Sammy
climb.
Guevara had to lift him up the
Yeah, he was
scaffold.
like holding him.
So I don't think that was a good idea.
Sammy Guevara was petrified that he was gonna that Matt Hardy was gonna fall. That feud has been cursed. But look, like you say, of course Matt Hardy is gonna, of course he's gonna say I want to carry on. Um, there's no way that doctor did a full concussion impact test in about 45 seconds. Matt Hardy didn't move, was unconscious for 48 seconds when I counted it. And then at 48 seconds is when the referee started counting and he started to move. And I'm not just talking about like he was selling. He did not move for 48 seconds. So to keep that match going after they stopped, to restart it after they stopped it, I thought was irresponsible. I thought it was stupid. And I thought they were very lucky that something worse didn't happen afterwards. Like if he had fallen from that scaffolding or if I know he didn't take any bumps, but like, even if, if he had passed out later in the night, like the Undertaker did when he had that concussion versus Brock, I think it was, wasn't it? Um, that we know how dangerous concussions are these days, and I thought it was disappointing to say the least. I thought the card overall was good without being great. I was disappointed by some. I was I enjoyed some others which I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much. Thought the Young Bucks match was good. I was disappointed with how invested I ended up being in the Omega Hangman and FTR match because
Ooh, I forgot all about that, bro.
I was really pumped for that match. I was so excited to see where they went with it. Who was going to turn? What were they going to do? Horseman, Cleaner, Hangman. Were they just going to turn? Were they going to join with FTR? Like there was so many different elements that had been teased, and
But
they kind of didn't do any of it.
it wasn't even that for me. It was just like the match didn't deliver how I thought it was. Like
I thought it was
honestly,
a bit long.
it just never got into that next gear. That's all.
Yeah, and like you say, it was like going up the hill and building, and then it kind of never got to the peak. Um, I found the interviews that Adam Page and Kenny Omega did with Tony Schiavone on Dynamite quite interesting, because on one side you had Hangman feeling quite down, saying that he wants him and Kenny to work their way back up to a tag team title shot, and then you had Kenny Omega saying he wants to be the Kenny Omega that everyone expected to be in AEW.
Yes,
I quite
yes.
like that. I
This is
quite
the
like
way to
that.
go.
Like,
This is the
uh,
way.
that's how you build it, isn't it? Where they have a difference of opinion, and I'm assuming what they'll do is Kenny will be talked into having another tag match. They will either lose or there'll be like some sort of miscommunication, and then Kenny will turn. I would assume. Where do you think the Young Bucks will go? Do you think they're going to turn too? It looks like it.
Aren't they already going
Yeah,
that
they are
route?
being very heelish. They super kicked Alex Marvez. Got fined by the KFAB management.
Bro, like it's like none of the EVPs are like finding that like that super duper type success that people thought they
Expected.
would, and they like I mean, and this I mean Cody did. I give Cody his credit. Like when he first like Cody was hot. He
But do you know
always been
why
hot.
that is? In my opinion, when they booked Cody like a star, they protected him like a star. He only lost to important guys in important matches. He has always been portrayed as like a big deal. Whereas the Young Bucks, they say the best tag team in the world during commentary, but they've always kind of been portrayed as just another tag team. And I think that's where there's like a bit of a disconnect, because on one side you've got Jim Ross saying the Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world.
Let, let me ask you this real quick. Do you think hindsight being 2020? Do you think the Young Bucks losing the private party at the beginning of the tag tournament did it?
I
I
think
mean,
it
obviously,
hurt.
obviously, it was a good thing for private party, but I mean, like when you look at what they're doing with private party now,
Yeah,
like it's
but
like, but I
yeah,
mean, when you look at with the young, yeah,
you say that it was a good thing, which it was, I think. But then what about if the Young Bucks had come in, won the titles, been the tag team, built, had like a year long run, and then Private Party won a tournament to face them at All Out
mm,
this past weekend? Because like the Young Bucks were in a nothing match really. Like it was good, but
it was a really good
there was
match.
no stakes. There was nothing to it. If they'd faced Private Party after a year long build, and it was then you did the young tag team getting the shock upset and winning the titles after building the story up, I think that does more for Private Party than winning in the first couple of weeks of AEW in a tournament.
AEW, they need to get their damn women's division together, bro. Like, wow, like
Well, barely on TV, mate.
it's a NWA women's title match next week.
They bet, mate. They barely put the women on TV. It's like a few minutes here and there. It's very disappointing.
Oh, did you so Thunder Rosa did an interview. That was one of the things I wrote in my news update. I forgot about that, but she did an interview and she said that when before her and Sheeta's match, Kenny Omega walked up to him and was like, and I mean, people, I was looking at the comments and I was just like taking in how people took what Kenny told Thunder Rosa and Sheeta. He was like, go out there and show them what a real women's wrestling match looks like. And I was like, I was just curious, like how people took that, because like some people was like, that could be a dig at
Yeah.
somebody, but it was like it's also like if you telling them that, then what do you tell the women who are signed when they do go out there and have their match? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you no matter like how much of a fan people are of AEW, you can't deny that their women's division has not lived up to the expectations
and they
that
got so much
people.
talent, bro.
Yeah, and the people like, before either or when AEW was launching, everyone was pumped. Their tag team division, their women's division, it was all going to be like portrayed as the big deal, and it was going to be incredible. And the tag team division has delivered absolutely. I think they've got the best tag team division in the world, and they do a great job of making the tag team seem like a main event thing. The women's division is an afterthought, and that's real sad because they've got some great talent. They're just not using it very well. I don't know whether that's because Kenny Omega's not used to booking, or whether it's a time constraints thing. And when they add this extra show, you'll see, real in-depth storytelling on the women's division. I don't know, but they need to fix it. What did you think of the Mimosa Mayhem match?
It was kind of long,
I was ready for that feud to end, to be honest.
bro. They need like what are they doing with Orange Cassidy, man? Like,
They need to make up their mind to like what they're doing.
is he like about to be wrestling more? Like, I mean, I can understand them trying to tell another side to him, but I kind of feel like there was like a lot of there was a lot more left that they could have did with the chilled out Orange Cassidy. I feel like they about to go to this route of like him being like more active and him showing more emotions, and that's cool. But like I feel like it was still like a lot left that they could have did with the chilled out Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I just wanted to see like that one. I wanted them to him snapping for the right moments, and I feel like I've seen it like almost every week in this Jericho feud, and that's completely taken away from it. One thing I was exceptionally disappointed about on All Out was that they didn't put the title on MJF. I said last week I thought it was the time, thought it was the place,
But
thought it was absolutely he was the guy.
you want to know what's funny, bro? Like, I felt the same way until I saw him and Moxley in the ring, and I was like, nah. I was like, nah. Keep the title on Moxley. I don't know why, but it just didn't. It like I thought that's what I wanted to see, but then like once I saw them in the ring and I saw Moxley with the title, I'm like, I'm like, nah. Keep the title on Moxley, bro. Keep it on Moxley. Keep it on
What's
him, bro.
next for these two? Do you think
MJF.
both of them? Yeah.
Uh, probably he gonna probably get Warlow to probably get him a title, probably sneak him into the TNT title, but he gonna use Warlow to get him, because you saw MJF and Warlow had a little scuffle, a little
Beautiful,
mini scuffle,
really
and
well done. That was.
I think like the one thing that I really like is that they didn't have MJF look like a punk, like he was
Yeah,
like he was like, oh, do we got a
straight in his
problem,
face.
Warlow? He's like, because remember, Tony Khan don't sign your checks, and Warlow was like, all right, damn, all right, there we go. But
I like that too.
for Mox, yeah, he facing Lance Archer on the anniversary show, so they about to build that, and that's in October. So I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah,
gonna do like a
I
nice
saw
long feud for that.
Sean Rossap said that he thinks they should do that NXT should do Halloween Havoc to counter program that, which I thought was quite interesting. I'd like it just to see the logo of Halloween Havoc, though. I gotta say, um, I'm sure they'll counter program it in some way. The anniversary show. Um, what else we got? Finn Balor, NXT champion. Hmm.
That was the right move.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I love Finn Balor. My problem is, I just do not know who they can feud him with. I don't really want to go to the Ciampa or Gargano thing again. Adam Cole looks like he's either turning babyface in NXT or he's going somewhere because you see the little too sweet thing they did after the match. That's like the most normally their signal that they're turning babyface. I saw some people on social media saying they should do what they did with Hogan and the NWO when they came to the WWE,
We'll
where
say
after
his
the
name on
Rock
this
match,
podcast. We don't say
huh?
his name on this pod. We don't say his name.
Okay. And the NWO they turned on him after because he fought the Rock and he then saw the error of his ways, but Nash and Hall did not, and they turned on him. And so I saw some people saying on social media that like you have Adam Cole turn babyface after the Balor match, and then you have the rest of them turn. My one right. So there's a couple of things with that. I like the idea as a concept, particularly if they have Kyle O'Reilly lead the rest of Undisputed Era. But one, I want to see Adam Cole go to Raw or SmackDown in the draft, but I want him to go with the Undisputed Era. And if you do this implosion angle, however you do it, I don't think you can then put them in as a stable on Raw or SmackDown, which is a problem for me. So I'd rather keep them together, even if you keep Adam Cole off TV for a few weeks and they just kind of say he's, I don't know, getting his head together or whatever to decide his next moves. Like they could put them as a counter act, like when Retribution is revealed, you could have the Undisputed Era come be the baby faces to that.
Well, one thing I could really see happening with Undisputed Era is them still being a group, but there being two different sides. Like I can see Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole being the baby faces, and I can see Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish being the heels. But they're still a group, but they just do different things. Like I can see uh like
Okay.
like Roddy and Fish like coming into the locker room and like asking Cole and O'Reilly like, hey, y'all want to beat this dude down? He did something else, yada yada yada. And Cole and O'Reilly like, no, I'm good. Like I'm good on that. And like Fish and
That's
Riley
quite
kind of like
interesting.
I think that'd be cool. And like you don't got to break them up. It could just be like Kyle and Adam are just like done with the whole jumping people, like trying to
Yeah.
like they done with that. Like Adam Cole, longest reigning NXT champion, Kyle O'Reilly, I think is way overdue for an NXT title match or NXT North American title
Oh,
match.
there you
So
go.
and
Kyle
then
O'Reilly versus Finn Balor
Trenton,
for the title.
yeah, shit, had Kyle O'Reilly could be North American champion. I ain't putting him past that either. But I mean,
What isn't
I
Damian
definitely
Priest feuding with? Who's Damian Priest feuding with?
Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a good match. Actually.
They have that match next week though. But
Are they not saving that for Takeover?
I don't even know
God
when the next
damn.
takeover is, bro. I think it's like in. I think it's in.
They're
I think it's next month.
they're
I think it's the next
screwing
takeover.
over Timothy Thatcher something chronic, man. They
Nah,
could have made
I
him
don't really
so.
think
They could
so.
have made him so special, bro. When he beat the Riddle in that
Bro, he is
pit.
kind of he. I mean, he doing something like he got his own segments and stuff. Like he doing a little class teaching thing where he breaking people's arms and all that.
No, they've beaten him too many times. He's not special. Not special anymore. That's what they do, though. I suppose.
I mean, somebody got to take
WWE
an L.
NXT is WWE light now, bro. It's just got to get used to it.
But you can't say somebody got to take a damn loss. Like it can't be everybody that you
Yeah,
think
no,
should
I
be a
know.
superstar. Like I mean,
But look,
half the time, like most of the people that some people think are going to be superstars, like, but it's just not. And not even I hate using the word
yeah,
superstar,
but
but I
it's
mean
how
some
you
people think that's
portray
going.
people, isn't it? Like
I
you
mean,
can make people
but
seem
in
like
that
stars.
argument, bro, they are making him seem like a big thing. Like I mean, he's lost before, and he's still able to feel like a legit threat to a title contender because they have these promo segments for him, these backstage
Mm.
segments that they probably don't do for most people. Like he got the
Yeah, I
whole
guess.
school
But
teacher
then
thing
there's a
going on.
reason
Like
why we can't think of anyone to face Finn Balor because they haven't built anyone up to the title level. So it's like, who do you put against Finn? So I guess I do see what you're saying though, because obviously they are giving him segments, so he has got a bit of something different about him. I just felt like he could have been there, kind of. He could have gone on a bit of an undefeated streak. Didn't have to be really long, just come in hot. Just before we finish, bro, because I know you need to go. We have to talk about Miro Day.
Oh
You still
yeah,
there?
yeah, I'm still here. Yeah,
Rusev
yeah.
Crush.
I was excited to see him. I'm glad to see him. It's
Were you
good.
expecting him before the show? Did you
Not at
know he
all.
was going to be there?
Not at all. I was expecting somebody like somebody that was already on the roster, but somebody really probably really wasn't thinking about. But I
Mm.
was definitely surprised to see him. Like I saw some people were like I guess they weren't happy with how he debuted, like the way he debuted. But I mean like, I mean it's like I mean, it was something different. Like I ain't like I mean, we always see like the typical run in, and they get the big pop, and but I mean, like it was kind of different. Like they brought him in, and it was like a. I mean, like, I definitely don't think he about to be like teaming with Kip Sabian for the next year. I think he
Yeah.
probably going to end up turning on Kip and getting the win, and then moving on. But I mean, we gonna see. But I'm glad to see him. Though it's good to see him, and hopefully that's not the only place we see him. Hopefully we get to see him in New
New
Japan as
Japan,
well.
oh yeah. I thought he looked jacked. I thought he cut a real good promo. Certainly the first sort of 80% of it I thought was exceptional. Um, he's different to everything they've already got. And he's a superstar. He's so talented. We've been saying this for ages. And I saw some people moaning that he meant he took shots at WWE. But if anyone has the right to take shots at WWE, it's him. And it wouldn't have made sense if he hadn't mentioned them wasting the last 6 years of his career or whatever it is. I loved his promo about the ceiling and the brass rings and all this shit. I thought it was amazing. Um, I hope they do right by him. I hope they push him to the top, and I hope they really, really showcase what he can do in the ring, because he's special.
I'm honestly more excited to see if he does like some independent stuff. Honestly, more so than like I'm excited to see him AEW, but like I'm more so excited to see what he does outside of AEW. To be honest with you,
Well, we've been talking about him going to New Japan for months, haven't we? Like
not
how
not even just New Japan. Like I want to see like if he gonna do like Black Label Pro or like
GCW,
GCW or like
Bloodsport.
I'm like real interested to see.
Oh, bro,
Um,
can you imagine? I think he'd be real good on Bloodsport. I think that'd be a good one.
that show is happening in October.
Yeah. Do you
They,
think is there any more movement in America with fans and stuff?
I mean GCW they have fans.
They're like proper socially distanced as well, don't they?
Yeah, and they have Beyond Wrestling has fans, Black Label Pro has fans. So like for real, for most of the independent promotions, they have like just like socially distanced, like, but
Mm.
they have like crowds there for the most part. It's just hot as hell outside, and so it's like
Do you think the WWE will have fans again soon?
I mean, I think once they start realizing that other people got fans, like I don't know if they realize it yet. Like I mean, of course they probably see AEW, but like, I mean, but like when you look at some of the independent promotions, their fans are like right by the ring, so like the reaction is like kind of better to what's going
Yeah.
on.
And lastly, to finish off, mate, we can't not talk about it. We talked about WWE shitting all over tag team wrestling. The Iconics have split up.
I know, right? Didn't we talk about that last podcast?
We didn't, and I didn't realize it until afterwards.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Sucks.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. When I saw the entrances, I thought Billy Kay kind of outshined Peyton Royce. I ain't gonna lie to you,
Yeah, we did
but
talk about it. I'm lying because you said about you asked me which one I thought was going to shine. I apologise, mate. I do so many podcasts, I got mixed up.
mhm.
I really apologise, and I apologise to everyone else as well for my stupidity. Um, I think I'm just depressed that they split them up, bro. How long do you think we see Wardlow before he snaps on MJF?
No time soon. I don't want to see that no time soon. But you could get so much more out of that, bro. Like
Yeah, I want to
it
see him
is.
drag that out a bit.
You about drag it out, bro. Do not rush
All Out
that.
next year.
Yeah, there you go. There you
That could
go.
be the big moment, couldn't it?
And the moment he beats MJF, it should be for a title. It should be for a title. It should not be just no. Yeah, I beat you just to
When he
beat you.
finally gets sick of MJF shit, I want that to be in front of like a jam-packed crowd,
Yes, that
and
needs
he
to happen.
finally is like, "I'm sick of your shit," and just snaps. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Before we wrap it up,
Right.
did you
Yo.
see me get the shout out this week?
Oh yes, I was going to say that. Vampiro giving Mr. Andrew Thompson some super praise. It was great to see. Great to see. Tell the people about that, where they can find the interview, and much more.
You found it on the Andrew Thompson interviews YouTube channel, of course.
Custom URL.
Custom URL, and you'll find me on Twitter at AD Thompson __, and the same thing on Instagram.
Oh,
And
for sure.
go subscribe to A.C.E Podcast Nation and go get them to 1,000, like 130 out. I think 100 something out.
Yeah, I think we're on about 865. I think. I haven't looked for a couple of days, but
That's real close.
it's getting there, bro. It's getting there. The So what was the score with Vampiro? Like you didn't you interviewed him and then he just gave you some
Yeah,
high
not,
praise at the
bro.
end.
That was it, bro. Like it wasn't even much of a off air conversation either because he was on a media tour, so they got schedules.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, me and him, like we just did the interview, and I did the interview with the director too. And then like I don't, it was just chill. Like I wasn't like like sweating them or nothing like that. Like I
Mm.
don't do that with anybody. I was just asking my questions and talking and like wasn't about to like say like no stuff like kissing nobody ass and nothing like that. Just talking to them like they regular people. Like
Mm.
and then like at the end of it, like I was wrapping it up because the dude had gave me the cue. The dude who was coordinating their media stuff was just like, hey, you gotta wrap it up. I was like, all right, so I just told them they could plug their social media, and then once it directed it, that's when Vampiro just, I was like, oh shit. I was smiling on the inside, but I couldn't show that. I was cheesing like hell on the inside, but I kept it in.
Good man. Just saw your subscribers are filling up rapidly, mate.
Dog, I was looking at, I was just at like 270 like 4 days ago. Now I'm
Amazing,
almost
mate.
at
Like
400.
yeah, like 360, bro. That's amazing. Doing some numbers. Numbers. Got some great interviews though. Tangaloa, Mark Haskins. Just flicking through some of these. AC Mac, Vampiro, Rohit Raja, the AEW Media Call, Arn Anderson, Marco Stunt, Sammy Guevara, mate. Some great stuff on your channel. Really,
Appreciate it, my
really
G.
so cool.
Did you see the most underrated interview on there? And you go all the way to the bottom. I got interviewed Nick Gage.
Yes, yes. Ace Romero, TJP, Colt Cabana. Jeez, man, there's so many good videos on you. Like, never ending. Fred Yehai, Stu Bennett, Dean Ambrose is on there, I know. Christian, Nick Aldis. Look at this man. Joe Hendry. Jesus. PJ Black. Look, Session Moth Martina. Sonny Kiss. Look at Andrew Thompson. Mixing it with the stars. Check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. We will be back probably next week, I would hope. Because it always cheers me up as we blitz as much wrestling talk as we can into 45 minutes to an hour. Andrew, as always, it has been a pleasure, and I am now happy once again. Thank you for your time.
We shall be back, sir, next week.
Yeah, boy. Check out Andrew's Twitter and social media, all in the description. I always link his stuff. So make sure you check it out. We'll be back next Saturday for a new episode. Keep it real, brothers and sisters.
Peace.
Hashtag don't be a dick.